All right, guys. So you may or may not have heard of manual bidding. You may know what it is. You may not know what it is. But nonetheless, it is definitely really important to your success with Facebook ads. So what is manual bidding? Well, basically the way it works is Facebook has a limited amount of spaces or inventory for which they can deliver ads. So whoever is willing to pay the most, almost like a real estate auction, they're going to win that space. So, for example, if you're going after an audience and Walmart is also going after the audience and they're willing to pay more for the space, their ad is going to get delivered before yours. Now, that doesn't mean that yours won't get delivered altogether, but theirs will get delivered higher up in the news feed, which is actually statistically shown to have a much higher conversion rate the higher up in the news feed your ad is. And also, their ads would get served to the better consumer. So Facebook, as you know, with lookalike audiences, they have an algorithm that they use to make people into formulas, essentially. And basically, like the better a person is or the more likely they are to buy, those people are going to get served with the ads who have the higher bid amount. So lower bids may get delivered, but they get worse inventory and they get served to worse customers. So that's kind of like a super high-level overview of what manual bidding is. And we're going to get into some strategies. There are different strategies, like with anything. You should try multiple different things and find out what works for your product in your market. And during that time, some certain times everyone is trying one thing, so you should be trying something different. So I'm going to show you guys a bunch of different strategies just so you have certain things to try. Let's get into it. So strategy number one, kind of the most basic one, is start with Facebook's suggested bid and increase or decrease as necessary. So, for example, if you're selling a product and Facebook suggests a $25 bid, go for it. And if your ad's not delivering, then increase it a little bit the next day to 27. If it's still not delivering, increase it to 29, then 30. And if you're spending too much money and not getting the results you need, you can try dropping the bid. So that's strategy number one, really basic. Strategy number two is for people who want to risk less money and they're not too worried about scaling fast. Maybe you don't really have competition in the market. You're not worried about people coming in and swooping up your customers. So in this case, you start with a really low bid, which Facebook likely won't deliver because your bid is too low, and then slowly increase it till you get to that point where Facebook starts delivering it and you're getting the lowest conversion cost. So it takes a long time. There's no risk. But if you have no competitors, this is great because you'll get served the good inventory to the good customers. But if you have a lot of competitors, it might start getting delivered at a low bid, but lower in the news feed and to worse customers. So strategy number three. This is for people who want to be aggressive, but they want to be aggressive, but it's not as good as the next method, which is also aggressive. Basically, where you start really high and slowly decrease your bids. So maybe Facebook is suggesting you start at $25, but you decide you want to start at $40 bids. Facebook will spend a lot of your budget, and you might start to get a lot of conversions, but maybe the next day lower your bid to $38, then $36, until you get to the point that you want to be at. I don't really recommend this method, but it's not something that we use very often, but it's something you could try. The next method is actually what we use most often, and this is kind of the secret sauce. You probably haven't heard of it, and I'm going to explain to you why it's really good. So this is called the bully method, and it's called the bully method because essentially you're bullying your opponents out of the ad space. So in this scenario, let's say Facebook says that you should start at a $25 bid. You start at 2 to 3 times that bid, maybe even 5 times that bid. You start really high. So maybe start at $100 or $125, which could seem a little scary. But what it's going to do is it's going to get your ads at the top of the newsfeed. You're going to outbid your competitors, and you're going to get served to the best customers. Now, your CPMs or your cost to deliver 1,000 impressions may be higher, but your cost per clicks are going to be lower because it's getting served higher in the newsfeed and to better customers, which lowers your conversion rate. So it's going to have a higher click-through rate, a lower cost per click, which overall means a lower conversion rate. If you have competitors trying to get in and sell the same product as you, but you're bidding $125 and they're bidding $25, they're going to get out in the first 2 or 3 days. So you're literally bullying your competitors out of the market. So again, like I was saying, you're going to get better quality users to see your ads. People with big money. Facebook buckets people into different groups, like people who are really likely to buy something, people who may be likely to buy something, people who just may buy something, and people who aren't likely to buy something at all. And the lower bid you put out there, the worse off you're going to be with the people who are going to buy your product. Last but not least, so higher budgets and cutting midday is better than running low budgets on full time, because you're training Facebook to deliver your ads to those better users, the people who are more likely to buy, because you're going to deliver to these users and they're going to engage, they're going to like, comment, share, which tells Facebook that we should keep sending this ad account's ads to these good users. So you're better off starting with high budgets and cutting midday than you are running low budgets and training Facebook to send your traffic or to send your ads to lower quality customers. Strategy 5, start really high, and after a lot of spend and history, drop the bid really low and crank up the budget. So this isn't a really advanced method. So maybe you'll start at like a $75 or $100 bid. You'll spend a bunch of money and you'll get a lot of data. You'll make a bunch of sales, and then drop your bid to maybe like $5 or $10, and crank up the budget from maybe $1,000 to $5,000. So, for example, start with a $75 manual bid with a $1,000 budget. Let it spend about $300 to $400, then crank the budget up to $5,000 and drop the bid to $10. By the end of the day, you'll definitely be profitable because Facebook will be delivering your ads to the right people, and it takes them a little bit of time to adjust to the change in manual bid. So this method, you're not going to get tons of profitable conversions, but you'll definitely get some profitable conversions. So the next strategy is actually really, it's pretty risky just because it could get out of control, but it's an advanced strategy and sometimes it works. Try this if you're trying some other stuff and it's not working. Kind of keep this in your back pocket. Start with a really high budget, say $5,000 a day, with a low manual bid on maximum accelerated delivery, and inch up the budget. Shoot to spend, maybe 15 to 20% of your budget. So, for example, start with a $5 manual bid with a $5,000 budget. Every 3 to 4 hours, increase the bid by $2 to $4. Facebook will only spend your budget when the manual bid is high enough. At the end of the day, you'll probably spend about $1,000. So this sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. It's something to try, something to keep in your back pocket. So get out there. Once your campaigns are working, you can start implementing these different strategies. Facebook is really weird, so certain things will work, certain things won't, and then the next week, different things will work. So keep trying different things. Keep coming back to this module and looking at these different strategies and trying more stuff. I would actually suggest you take notes on this so that you have different things to try. So, all right, guys, thank you.